Good evening, everybody. Hope you're having a great Monday. But this is Borderline Banter. Welcome to the show. Wherever you are, hope you're having a great time. Hope you had a good weekend and you're all probably back to work and all that. So, hope you had a great start to the new year. Yeah, my name is Mike. Thank you for being here. As always, moving the mouse around, we have Dustin. Dustin, how are you doing today?
Oh, pretty good. I almost forgot to move the mouse a little bit. But yeah, no, we're back to business as usual now. Holidays are officially over.
Yeah.
So get back to work.
Cool, cool. Well,
Back to work.
was it last week or no? Not really. I don't remember.
I mean, this week is the first real one because technically in America here, most people had Monday off
It is
for
already
the
the
New
eighth
Year's
though.
Day.
But yeah, thank you
Yeah,
all
it's
for
already.
being here. We have a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. As you can see, our
We
title
do.
talks about a phone that fell 16,000 feet. So we will be getting into that one first. But yeah, anything to say before we jump into that, Dustin?
Uh, no, I'm good to go. If you're our,
Hey, let's start it.
if you're our,
Not too
do you
much
want to
actually.
start? We
And
can't really start with the phone, can we? Or
yeah,
do we start
no.
with the
Let's
phone?
start with this one here. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
so we
yeah,
got to get our way to where that phone's at.
Yeah, it's pretty soon here. Don't worry. So, from the BBC, Boeing 737 MAX 9 jets to stay grounded as inspection continues. So, I'm not sure. I'm sure most of you have if you're on social media or anything. But there's a viral video going around of a plane flying without a door. You should probably click that to see if we can show them.
Yeah, I was gonna say this
It's probably going to
may
have
be
to
it.
skip an ad. But, oh, no. So, yeah.
And then I look to my left, and there's this huge
Oh, there it
chunk
is. Yeah, yeah.
part of
Hole in
the
the plane.
airplane just like missing, and the wind is just extremely loud.
Yeah, so yeah, the door literally just got blown off. Um, Wouldn't
And it's
that
not the
be something?
emergency door. It's
Yeah.
just a part of the plane just broke
I'm
off.
pretty sure it was a door. Or that could be a panel. I guess it was a panel. I don't know. But yeah, still, regardless, wouldn't that be scary? Imagine being that guy sitting in that seat. You know what I mean? Like, imagine being right beside that happened. Like, I don't know. I would be
She laughed at the
shitting
very end. That
bricks.
was weird.
Has been
But
two
yeah,
minutes
no,
yet?
that
Yeah.
would be it would be crazy.
But yeah,
And
so luckily the plane landed. Everyone got off safely. Yeah. But they have grounded all their flights. Actually, I was reading a story about this too. Is that these planes were they were told not to do long distance flights with them, which
was
is
this
kind
a long distance flight?
I don't know, but if they can't do a long distance flight, maybe you should reinspect the whole. Just
Well,
my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, you probably don't want a plane that like is well, it works for a little bit. Like,
Yeah,
oh no, I'm gonna need one that just works.
exactly right. So they're
And
lucky.
specifically, it's 171 of these things, which not all your aircraft are the same. You go to an airport.
Yeah,
I'm not an airplane dork, but I've seen airplane dorks at airports, and so they're not all this.
yeah, but Boeing's a big
Um,
company.
but this is a lot of them, especially Boeing 737s make up a lot of the
Yeah.
commercial flights around the United States.
So yeah, they're gonna check them all out, which you should. But isn't that messed up, man? You think you can get on a plane and have a safe flight? You think they have people to
You would
check all
hope.
that stuff, and yeah, boom, like the door window flies off. But yeah, some people lost some shit. A lot of their stuff went flying. Some carry on went flying. People's phones went flying. A whole bunch of random stuff went flying off that. Um, it must have
And
landed
they're gonna have
somewhere.
the FAA come in and inspect all these other planes.
Yeah,
Which
so
this is the what's FAA? That's like
Federal Airline Association.
sure.
I don't know. I'll go with
Close.
that. So yeah,
It doesn't say
um,
it. It doesn't. Oh no, Federal Aviation
I
Administration.
had one word right. But
Close.
so yeah,
So they're
uh,
gonna come in and check shit, and then also they're gonna have a safety meeting with all the employees on Tuesday.
yeah,
This
safety
is kind
meeting.
of a fluff thing. Like, yeah, everybody has to attend mandatory safety meeting.
Yeah, woohoo! Right? What are you gonna talk about? Is like they should have double checked. Um, but yeah, so luckily everyone was okay. Where did the stuff land? Does it tell us?
That's a good question. I don't know if this article is gonna tell us.
Through the flight is the last
Is this the
airline's flight.
flight
Yeah,
from Portland
1282
to
from Portland to
Ontario?
Ontario, California. So it wasn't that long of a flight. It's a long enough flight.
I mean, you'd think it could make it from Oregon to California. I've flown further than that.
Passengers on
So,
board said a large section of the plane's outer shell fell to the ground shortly after takeoff.
That's just crazy. It just like fell off. How do you
Yeah.
like? That's got to be something really wrong with it for that to
Is
happen.
this
So how
okay?
do you
What is this?
not?
Is this? Let's play the airline here. It's 18 seconds.
We'd like to get lower if possible. Fox 1282 is going to maintain 7,000. We're going to maintain 7,000, Alaska 1282. Alaska 1282, did you declare an emergency or just need to return to? Yes, we are emergency. We are depressurized. We do need to return back to. We have 177 passengers.
Yeah.
Now, what does it matter if there's 10 passengers aboard or 177 passengers?
You're missing part of your plane. I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to emphasize, like, yeah,
They have
there's a
170
lot
souls on board
on the line
right?
here.
Yeah, I'm glad they
A lot
landed
on the line.
safely. So, yeah. The passengers, several persons were injured, but not severely. Yeah, because shit was probably flying through the cabin like crazy. Like,
As wide as a refrigerator.
luckily, you know what? That's why you always keep your seatbelt on. Like, yeah, they turned the seatbelt light off. It's like, you know what? Especially on short flights, keep the goddamn seatbelt on. You have to wear it for 2 or 3 hours, wear it. Like,
Yeah.
because imagine getting sucked out of an airplane. Like, you'd probably die before you even get out. Okay? I'm pretty sure
Look.
you'd die pretty quick, but.
This is literally how far into the flight they were. They took off, did one corner or one little turnaround thing, and then it happened here 6 minutes
Oh,
in.
so.
So it's not even a distance thing. It's like it
They were
failed
ready.
immediately.
You could see the
And they
airport from
just
where it
went right
happened.
back in.
So,
yeah. And then they just said, we got to go back in.
Emergency
And
landing.
I was like looking at this at first, like, oh, this would have been the trip. Kind of far because it's very South California.
Yeah.
So
I guess, yes.
But this is like they made it 2 inches. And no, unfortunately, this article doesn't talk about where things fell. At least not that I saw.
But I think the next one does.
But as promised.
So from Global News, iPhone sucked out of Alaska Airlines plane, found still working after 16K foot fall.
That's impressive.
Yeah. What kind of phone case do they have? Yeah. I don't know. So yeah, take it if you want.
Oh, I'm blocking ads. That's why they won't want to see that. They found the missing door plug 2 days after the panel tore off the aircraft mid-flight. So 2 days later, they found the plug, whatever that means. What is door plug? Is that their way of saying the wall of the plane, like
maybe
the shit that like doesn't make sense to not stay intact? So yeah, a curious citizen out on a Sunday stroll says he found an intact iPhone, still in perfect working condition, that appears to have been sucked out of Alaska Airlines Flight 1282, which suffered a catastrophic failure in fuselage Friday.
Well, so
when they say 2 days later, I guess it was Sunday.
You just find an iPhone, like, oh, that must be from the sky, like not somebody.
Oh yeah, so on Sunday they found everything, the plug and the phone both. Yeah. Yeah, you just drone along and there's just a phone.
And that's your immediate thought. It must be from the airplane.
Well, it is a little weird, but why would you immediately think it's from there? So let's see what else is.
Yes. Plane managed to okay, we already know that. None of the passengers injured.
And no one was hurt. No one was seriously injured. That's weird how they say seriously. Was somebody minorly injured?
Yeah, they said there was a few minor injuries. So yeah, Washington resident Sean Bates said he wanted an excuse to go on a walk and learned. Why do you need an excuse?
He just
learned that the NTSB was appealing to the public report anything may have fallen from the plane when the door blew off. Before long, he found something
miraculous.
I can't say some words. Thank you. Anyway, just sometimes they just don't come out. But yeah, but then again, people lose phones all the time. So I found an iPhone on the side of the road, still in airplane mode, with half a battery, and open to baggage claims from Alaska Airlines SA 1282. Well, I guess that's how you know it's from the plane, right?
In theory, I mean, could you fake this though?
You could. It wouldn't be that hard to fake, right? Like, yeah, 16,000 foot dropped perfectly intact. It says so. Yeah, so if the phone dropped 16,000 feet, like,
so he took a picture of the phone and apparently a person who works for NTSB. Sure. Wait, the iPhone was the second phone to be found.
Oh, so 2 phones are found.
According
Crazy.
to NTSB, they told Bates that there's already been another one. You found the second one.
Oh,
Which makes sense. There's a couple phones because if you're sitting there on a plane, you're holding your phone,
yeah.
pressure goes skyrocket, your phone's gone.
Yeah, especially actually some people would hold their phone till they die, but these people are
Yeah.
like life's more important than my phone.
So
But-
here it is.
Yeah.
This is the phone with the baggage receipt and NTSB person.
Okay, well that's crazy how they found it. So he was looking in the bushes. So he wasn't just jogging around. It looks like he was looking in the bushes. Still bizarre to find it. That's still pretty crazy to find something like that. But yeah, is that the bag list? I can't. Can you zoom in or no? Why not let you?
Well, what do you mean bag list?
Or is that like the bag?
It just says 2 bags, $70. So like
$25. Yes, I can't see that far.
Portland to Ontario.
Yeah,
Canada. So, I
that's
mean,
it.
it's referring to that trip.
But
At
it's
least
not
the,
hard for
date
emails to be
and
faked,
destination.
but I'm sure it's real. Why would you fake that, right? So
Well, the thing is, if you're gonna fake it, you're not gonna go and tell the agency about it because they're gonna pretty quickly
that
figure
is
out whose
fake.
it
Yeah,
is.
exactly, right. So,
And as soon as they know whose it is, and it's not somebody on the flight, you're really in trouble. Fabricating evidence is probably not legal.
apparently the phone charger is stuck in the port, so it's charging.
Thing got yanked out the door.
At least that you know you
Oh,
can't.
it's not a piece of charger. Nice. Yeah.
You know, at least you can't blame this person. They had the phone. Like somebody didn't have their phone on airplane mode, and that's exactly why.
Okay, so
I'm
here's
kidding,
a
yeah.
closer up picture of the phone with that thing in it.
Oh,
This is the charger still
port,
kind of.
crazy. That's insane how it landed. It must have just landed right, too. Like even with the case, that's crazy. Like, did it land in bushes? It must have
Well,
landed
yeah, I
in
mean,
something.
there is a case here, right? I mean,
Yeah, but come on, you know?
not
Like,
much of one.
you know, like...
Talking about 16,000 feet.
Well, I guess it doesn't pick up any more speed after a certain amount of time, right? So it doesn't really matter how far after a certain amount, but still, it seems like... it's something that would have broke for sure. But no, I'm not a big fan of iPhones, but that's a way.
So the plug that was covering the unused exit door was also found in Portland in the backyard of a school teacher named Bob. But the door itself has yet to be found. You could be the next person.
Huh.
Find a thing. Find
Good
that
job,
door.
Bob.
Why does it seem like the door would be like the big thing to find?
Maybe it wasn't. Well, yeah. So make sure I don't know. Maybe don't fly Alaska Airlines if they're not going to take care of their planes properly. Because
the chair
I
of the
read-
NTSB says they're extremely lucky that they weren't further up in altitude where people start walking around, which is true.
Exactly.
That's not very long into flights. It's like people are very antsy to get that
Seatbelt
moment
off.
to move
Well,
around.
that's what I said. You never take your seatbelt off. But yeah, I was reading. I should have posted it, but it was saying that these planes were not allowed to fly long distance over water. What it said.
I kind of want my planes to work over water or land. Maybe I'm just selfish.
Okay, so the FAA has warned the 737 MAX software could potentially. Okay, that's software. That's something else. I don't know if we should get into that right now.
So Alaska Airlines has 65 of these. United has 79 of them.
Canadians airlines don't have any. They do not use that model. But yeah,
And I guess
yeah,
that's
exactly. Jay
what
said
makes up the
their stuff
majority
breaks
of
after
these.
3 feet. Exactly.
Yeah, but my phone's been surviving all kinds of craziness it shouldn't.
Like
so,
I got this fixed, but I dropped
you know.
it from the truck door and it cracked. You know, like. But
They've already
okay.
canceled 170 flights, so if you're flying anywhere, have fun.
Hey,
with
no,
delays.
I think I'd rather miss the flight than take a chance after that. Because yeah, imagine another 10, 15 minutes. There would have been people walking around, even just with their seatbelts off. Because some people just love to take their seatbelts off. Some people don't even. Some people don't even try. They try to get away without even putting them on for the. They'll try to cover it from the person, or when they walk by, they'll unbuckle. Last time I took a flight. Last time I took the flight, call me I was paranoid, but the chick was like pretending to sleep when the chick came by. And the chick was trying to wake up. She was sleeping. She'd wake up as soon as she went by. She came back, tried to get her to put the belt on. She was refusing to put the belt on, so they finally got her to put the belt on. It was like, just put it on. It's not that big of a deal. Like, but
Yeah, it's really not.
and the thing is that in a plane, them flying around is a danger too. It's not just them flying out the airplane, but they got to fly past you to go out the airplane. You know,
I mean, they become a projectile.
exactly right. Like,
It's
I
not
don't
just
want to.
themselves
I don't want to
that
see
they're-
anybody flying out, but whatever.
Yeah.
Let's just hope
So,
this doesn't happen
Boeing
again.
has no comment, of course. I mean, it might happen again. Apparently, the Max has been plagued by other issues, including manufacturing flaws, concerns about overheating that led the FAA
I
to
just-
tell pilots to look at the use of anti-ice systems.
And there was just
And a possible loose bolt
software
in the rudder.
issue and stuff. So yeah,
It looks like they're just kind of like doing all these things to make something that doesn't work.
people weren't meant
Kinda
to
work.
fly. You know.
Well, this is one particular craft. I
Yeah.
mean, we're not saying our other aircrafts don't work.
Actually, flying is the safest way of transportation.
Right. So it's kind of alarming when we can't get passenger aircraft to work properly, because this is something that's supposed to work. We expect this to work. We have expectations. It's 2024. You know, gotta have airplanes, free airplanes for everyone.
Alrighty. Well,
You get an airplane. I get an airplane.
I think that's all we have on the.
But like you think about like the
Right.
military aircraft, they don't fail like this. So.
Well, yeah, but they're so hot. There's so many more years ahead of us for the military. They got some
Who's they?
America. They as a hey, but
America.
like America, the government,
Say it.
like
Say
the
it.
government. Yeah. So okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, this is a crazy story, and I guess we might have a follow up depending on if they find the door or
Yeah.
if anything else comes about from this. I think it'll probably end up being like Boeing pays some money, and then we move on like it didn't happen, and the 737s go back up in the air. Because that's kind of how it works here.
For sure. Well,
But hey, since we're talking about phones, iPhone,
all you this one.
Gizmodo brings us this one. Apple is sending out $92 payments to users whose iPhones were slowed down. Apple is finally paying users in the settlement of Batterygate after the company slowed down iPhones roughly 7 years ago.
We were talking about that. Was that the last episode we were talking about that?
I
Or-
think it was literally last episode. Yep, we were talking about.
We might lose the screen here
companies
for a
making
second,
things
guys.
not
Sorry,
work.
just bear with me.
Yep, I am disappearing.
Sorry, but keep talking. Go on.
So yeah, Apple is gonna give you a $92. They're sorry. This happened 7 years ago, and you had to get a new phone over it. But here's $92. So over the weekend, Apple users finally began receiving their piece of the Batterygate settlement in the form of $92 payments, as first reported by Mac Rumors. Apple admitted to slowing down old iPhones back in 2017 without notifying users, saying it was part of delivering, quote, the best experience for customers. Yeah, I also think my phone going a little bit slower is the best experience, said no one.
Yeah, so they did that on purpose though. You know why they did that,
Yeah.
right? So
Well, they say to deliver the best experience for customers.
yeah, well that's because then they have to
Whatever
go
the
buy
hell that
they have to
means.
go buy a new one and
Well, then they'll have the best experience because they have
yeah,
the new phone.
exactly.
The rationale to get there, it's dirty. But hey, here's some money. So they admitted it. They reduced the battery life. Exactly what you thought. You were thinking you had to charge it more often. You were. You thought it just wasn't maintaining its battery all day. It wasn't. And on purpose, they wanted it to not last all day, obviously, because they want it to be a nuisance. The new phone won't be a nuisance, they say. Performance of iPhones with software upgrades. I guess the other thing. Performance is less easy to see, but you can feel when a phone is clunkier and it doesn't, and if it's not doing things it used to do as quick as it used to do, like, you could feel it.
Yeah.
Especially if you've had a phone.
I remember
like
I had the iPhone 2. I think that's the first iPhone. And I loved it, but then it did start slowing down. It was just horrible. You couldn't do anything, right? It was like a paperweight. Like that's all it was. And my other phones, you couldn't make phone calls quick or anything. And then I moved to Samsung right after that. But yeah, like it's ridiculous how they got away with that. This is a class action lawsuit result. $92.
I mean, Maybe. Do you have the receipt?
No, don't. Okay, what class action lawsuit were we talking about last time too? I forget last episode.
Oh shoot, what was it?
Oh,
It was
Logan
the
Paul.
crypto zoo. Yeah,
Yeah.
Logan Paul.
So this is the exact same thing. Yeah, he gets that, but you wait that long, you get nothing. No, there was another one too. It was a Hershey, the Hershey chocolates that were shaped wrong.
Oh yeah. The
That's what it was.
Reese's.
Yeah.
Reese's, not
yeah.
Hershey's.
My bad. Sorry, Reese's. Yeah, they're shaped wrong.
They're probably
And
the same
everyone's like,
company, if we're being
like they're not
honest.
gonna get $92, but they'll get $1 or something, maybe. You know what I mean? It's like class action lawsuits. You wait a decade to get
Yeah.
nothing. So
Some of them, most of them, yeah.
yeah,
Every once in a while, there's ones that make a whole hell of a lot of sense, and you should definitely wait. And the settlements are not worth it. And we don't have an article for it, but since we did talk about the Logan Paul one of our audience members and co-host Jays did the research for us that we were trying to find that article last night. I mean, the question we had was, he's doing refunds, but how much is he doing a full refund? If I put in $100, do I get 100 back? Kind of. That was what I was trying to find.
yeah,
She said, I think 16%.
yeah. If you take the payout, right?
You're getting 16% if you take that payout,
Yeah.
and then that means you can't be part of the lawsuit.
Yeah,
So, do you take 16% or do you hold out?
yeah. You take $16, or do you wait?
Well, I mean, it depends on how much you have in.
Yeah,
If you
I
have
guess.
$100 in, you get $16.
Yes, I'm just using that as.
If you have 100,000 in,
Yeah.
do you take 16K and walk? I mean, and let Logan have 84K?
See, the thing is, I wouldn't even take the $16. I wouldn't. I'd be that guy. I'd be like, screw it. Like, I've already got. Like,
Will you just hold out and just see where the lawsuit goes then?
where the
Just
lawsuit
goes?
goes, yeah.
I mean, then there's
But I
people
don't
like that,
have-
and there's other people
I
that are
don't
like,
have
I
that
need the
kind of
money
money.
right now.
Yeah.
Just give it to me. And so I think it's definitely related. I don't have an iPhone. I've only ever had like an iPad, and it feels
yeah.
sluggish. It feels like
So
they
yeah,
screwed
look
it.
at they
Can I
said
have
there
money?
was an update, right? The key points was Apple didn't tell the user the latest iOS update. iOS update was about to make their iPhones way worse. Yeah, because that's it. Everyone would update the phone, and all of a sudden it would just slow down
Yeah,
like
you
a
had-
lemon.
Oh, and of course you're gonna update, and you
Yeah.
had no idea that that update was gonna make it worse, and then it did,
Yeah,
and that was their plan.
yeah, exactly. And they're like, oh well, guess what's coming out next month, right?
Oh, somebody posted on the Twitter X their actual payment here.
Oh wow, so that's a
I
big,
guess says Apple.
3.5
says
years, yeah,
payout,
so.
says $92.
yeah,
I don't know why I'm seeing multiple entries.
the same number, yeah. Unless they
No,
screwed
it's
up
the
and just
same
give them that whole payment, a whole bunch.
Maybe they had multiple phones. So the deadline to file a claim was October 6th, 2020. That's to be a part of the class action.
Yeah,
Right. Settlement was eligible to anyone who owned iPhone. Oh, you said you had two?
yeah. So I
iPhone
would be.
2?
I
No.
wasn't. Yeah. So
You gotta have the 6 through the 7 or the SE. And all these variations of the 6 and 7, it looks like.
but I'm pretty sure they did that with all their phones anyway. Pretty sure they did it with every single one of their phones. From the
It
start.
appears millions of claims were filed, and some users filed more than once. One iPhone user reported receiving payouts for 6 claims connected to the lawsuit. Oh, wow. Wow.
See, that's him right there. He did get paid 7. But it didn't look like the same number, so that's bizarre. But
Millions of, what was it, $92 payouts could add up pretty fast.
yeah,
Millions of them. I mean, 92 million. A million. So Apple's settlement allows the company to not admit any wrongdoing in the Batterygate scandal, and Apple has consistently held they've been nothing but a darling throughout
geez,
this
so
whole thing.
it just shows you can be a
We
criminal.
have never
and just pay for
would
it.
never do anything to intentionally shorten the life of any Apple product or
Yeah.
degrade the user experience to drive customer upgrades. Come on.
Yeah, that's
We
why you
wouldn't-
freaking sell the
Wouldn't do
freaking.
that.
They sell everything separate, you know. You're like,
And of course, no response for comment.
yeah,
Gizmodo reached out and said, "Hey, you want to say something more than what we have? We just have your quote to go on, which is, nuh-uh."
unreal. But that is what
So
it
yeah,
is.
the
I
settlement
guess, so.
payouts may have totaled 300 million, so that could be up to like 3 million of those claims, because $92 each, you know, at least between
That's
3 and 4 million.
Petty cash to them though, so they don't care.
Yep, which is what they put here at the end. Their revenue, their 2023 revenue, 383 billion.
Guys, yeah. So look at
Billion.
not even a percent. You know, like
Billion.
yeah. It's okay. So The Blue just said,
Blue
"Mom,
said-
oh, go ahead."
Go ahead. No, you got it.
My mom was forced to upgrade because she believed the battery was draining because of her diabetes machine that was hooked up to an app on her iPhone 6. There you go. And she needs that. She needs that to get by. So of course she is. And she didn't need to do that because iPhone scammed her. That's what it was.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a definite case where you can get. The thing is, it's freaking $92.
Sorry to hear that.
Doesn't
Blue.
seem right.
That's
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Did
to
your
hear
mom?
That,
Did your mom
$92
sign up
does
on
not
this?
cover that.
So,
and it doesn't even really pay for because the thing people did when this happened is they got a new phone, and there's no way that new phone was just a little $92 thing.
Yeah, no, it was.
I know I've gotten my phone upgraded, and it's never just $90.
Yeah, even when it's free.
Your old one.
Even when it's free, it's not $92. So.
Well, and that free is in quotes, right? But yeah,
I'm not a big fan of Apple anyway. I used to use their products. I don't dislike Apple. I just don't always like all their policies and stuff. And Samsung just was better for me, in my opinion.
For me, it was just I didn't want to open that because as soon as you do, you have to basically full send it. You can't just do a little Apple. You got to go full Apple.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
And
so it wasn't going to mesh with my computing world because I wasn't about to switch to an Apple computer. I think Apple still makes inferior computers. And you can fight me about that. I think the phones are probably on par, maybe, but their PCs are inferior. So get wrecked. I think tablets they win. I'll give them tablets.
Yeah, tablets are pretty good. They were the first tablet, though, right? So.
Right. And theirs can do shit that nobody's can still. So, but hey, they'll make it not soon, so you'll have to get the new one.
Alrighty, what's next on our?
Yeah, sick and tired of phones. Let's talk about not phones.
Okay. I've just got down. So,
all right.
From the New York Post, teacher molests 15-year-old boy in her car. Was worried she wouldn't be his quotation first. Why
did you enunciate the her car like he would have a car?
Well, I said her because when you hear teacher, most 99% of people are going to assume it is a male teacher.
Oh, okay.
Like that's why I said her, right? So, her because most people would be like, oh, well, it's a male teacher, right? But
why would it be the student's car?
Yeah,
okay, now that makes sense. But no, okay, now the really fucked up part of the headline, because that's not, that is a little fucked up. Like, it's usually guy teacher, like you say. So that's the first hit. But then the second one is like, she wouldn't be his first?
So, yeah.
Huh?
Regardless, I hope she goes to jail. I don't know anything about this. The Louisiana teacher allegedly sent a 15-year-old boy nude photos and inappropriately touched him in her car with her young child present and told the teen she was worried she wouldn't be the one to take his virginity, according to a third.
Well, that got kind of a few levels of fucked up.
Yeah. This is...
You got your other child in the car with this child that you're...
Another child? Okay. Yeah, so...
And you're 32, Tatum Hatch, we got her name.
Was arrested Wednesday after she and the teen exchanged indecent messages for about a year and a half, in which she suggests he come through her bedroom window to have sex with her. Courts document. So, yeah, so this teacher is literally...
So then about a year ago, the pair met up near the victim's home where Hatch allegedly touched the boy's genitals while her infant was in the car.
Wow. Oh.
What the fuck? So apparently this has been going on a while. So how did nobody notice and report this? Because I don't care if it's a guy teacher or girl teacher. It's not okay.
Yeah, but that
it doesn't matter. It's not okay.
Well, if there was all hidden, if they're being sneaky about it, they can hide it, right? But the toddler's not going to say anything. The toddler doesn't know. The infant. It doesn't say toddler. It says infant.
Yeah, infant. Which at least that kind of. At first I was thinking well, she's 32. This could literally be a 7 or 8 year old or something, or even another 15-year-old.
Yeah, but infant, I'm thinking. Okay,
I was my mind was trying to figure out what are we dealing with. Infant, I guess, is less bad.
Still pretty messed up.
Of all the bad.
Because why? So she's a pedophile who was bringing her kid to
to the pedophilia,
Yeah.
which is you need to get the child removed from you because that's, bring a child along to do a crime. That's danger to the child.
So,
Period.
okay, so
But yeah, then the educator also allegedly told the teen another time she was scared he'd find someone else to be his first after the boy told her he was scared. Okay.
so
That's just
yeah.
such a weird thing for her to be thinking while being a pedophile.
Yeah.
Like she's
Well-
worried her victim will like escape and have a normal relationship instead.
Yeah, that's yeah. So she's got some fucking issues, and
So the
Needs to be put in
relationship,
jail.
if we want to call it that, blew up when the victim's father found out and contacted the police. All right, let's take a look at teacher. There's teacher from
Huh.
West Monroe High School,
kind of got
arrested
got a
and
crazy
charged
eye.
with computer-aided solicitation of a minor. That's
That's
a very
it?
specific charge.
Well, yeah, because yeah.
And
but
do we have
that's
any
it.
other charges? Because that can't be the only one, can it?
Indecent, meet up with a minor. That's I mean, that's a felony. To meet up with a minor, I'm pretty sure. The boy
Oh, go ahead.
the boy showed investigators, with the sheriff's department office messages on his Instagram between him and the teen who resigned from her job late December. So
Okay, so yeah, she quit, which is
Yeah.
probably good because otherwise they'd be demanding her being fired. So this makes that question easy.
yeah,
This is interesting though. The victim also claimed that that Hatch sent nude selfies, but the pics disappeared because she used vanish mode on Instagram. I don't use Instagram. Is that a thing?
I don't know. I didn't even know about that, but that's
Like,
scary that it is.
I know some chat software I know people use because of the it would disappear thing,
because I see the
or it would
comments.
notify you if they
I see the
screenshot.
comments that these men send to people. I don't want to see the photos they're sending to those kids. Anyway, Blue said something else in chat. We live in a society that already blurs the line between parental and teacher authority and influence. It's not uncommon for the boundaries to be unclear in our education system, and it's not surprising for that it went on for so long. Yeah, it is true. That's the sad part now. It's like there's some parents who just will let the teachers do whatever, and you can clearly tell it's something weird's going on. But like, oh, it's a teacher, blah blah blah, and yeah, I don't know.
Oh, a nude photo was recovered after our forensic download was done. So every time you think something vanishes or disappears,
It's never gone. Yeah. So
just remember technology is fun.
and now that's another charge, another felony, charging pornography to a minor.
Yeah, I assume that's some sort of charge. So I was surprised that it only mentioned one
Yeah.
charge, and I think we're going to be at the end of the article here. Hatch allegedly admitted to law enforcement in mid-December. She spoke to the boy through Instagram, but didn't answer some questions because she was afraid she'd lose her children. Yeah, you're going to lose your kid. If what we just read above is true, you're losing that kid.
She's only facing one charge. Peter, yeah. It's
Now this period solicitation of a minor doesn't sound like they're going to even target the situation in the car because that's not using a
sexual
computer.
assault, yeah.
This is going to be targeting the Instagram messaging.
And
the nude
regardless
photo.
if he wanted or not, he was not old enough to consent.
Which if they'd focused on the other one is certain to take her child away. At least in this case, the Instagram messaging doesn't involve her child, hopefully.
Yeah. But then again, I'm just gonna say this, and I am all for this. But if there was a man, he would have been charged with every single thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like we would definitely see more than this.
Hey there, Sam. Thanks for hopping in. I don't agree with. I think they all should, no matter what, right? So appreciate it.
But the thing is, no matter what you charge them with, you gotta meet the the requirements for those charges. Whatever they are, every charge has different things you have to be able to prove.
Yes, but I guess it's an allegation. But there's
no harm in failing.
Yeah, but it's
right?
an allegation. So then that means any person who's ever said they were sexual assault should be dropped because it's a he said she said. No, bring that to the court. Have both their things. If he can recite the whole thing without missing a beat, and she can't, she's lying.
Well, I don't think they do it that way.
Well, you can tell usually, you know what I mean.
But I don't think they sit there and try to figure out who's maybe lying or not lying. I don't really think that's what they do. They operate on evidence and proof.
But sometimes there's no evidence. Like either maybe in a text and meet me outside, right? So meet me outside.
It depends. It depends on what the situation. I mean, different things have different levels of evidence. There's also a ridiculously large number of rape kits just sitting there not being processed. That's evidence that just never got processed of crimes, sex crimes.
Yeah.
That we need to prosecute people, but they just aren't getting processed. So like there's tons of them where there is the evidence too that aren't proceeding.
There's
So,
people
you
saying
know-
there's people saying bad words on the internet. They got to go after those people first and let the crimes that the serious crime go unpunished, right?
Well, who's really getting in trouble for bad words? I mean,
Well,
I see
okay,
bad
in
words every
Canada,
day.
people are getting arrested for putting stuff on Facebook and stuff like that.
Are they?
But,
Because
yeah.
I would cover that link on Banter if that's
Okay.
happening. Give
Well,
me a link.
Okay, next time. It hasn't happened in a while, but we can talk about it. So during COVID, you should have saw how many people were getting arrested. You know, it's unreal.
that was a different time,
It
and I can
doesn't
understand
matter.
there.
No, how can you understand for putting your opinion on the
Well,
internet?
because I
getting
was on
arrested?
the internet during that time,
Yes,
so I
but-
can understand that being totally different than right now.
But-
That's what I'm saying. Like, what are
But they
people
still would.
getting?
I guarantee they still do it. Now I'll look for a story because I guarantee it's happened. We just haven't heard about it yet. But yeah,
You know, and if somebody's going out there and doing literally COVID shit again, then it'll be my
and it had nothing to do with COVID. The people that are getting arrested.
Okay, if this new thing has nothing to do with COVID, perfect.
Okay, let's.
I'd like to take a look at it because I don't really believe anyone, other than maybe a few people losing jobs, nothing really happens to people.
Yeah, well,
And the
you're
more
but you're in
power you
America.
have,
You're
the
in
less
America.
that happens to you.
You're in America. Canada's different. UK's different. Australia's different. You know, the good old Commonwealth, right? So.
Well, I don't. Yeah, everywhere has different laws, but like, I'm even thinking in those places, the people who have power and money are.
No, it
still
was
the same.
crazy.
That story doesn't change. If you have money and power, you can say whatever you want.
But if you don't, but again, we'll get into it later. But they were arresting Joe Blows just on the street in their own homes for saying comments, saying, "Oh, fuck Trudeau," well, you can't be saying stuff like that, blah blah blah, right?
Yeah, we should cover that.
Yeah,
Why? I mean, you got to get those links when they happen. We'll cover
this happened
it.
before we did the banter. You know, like
Well, then
we're
it's
still
not
baby here.
happening.
We're still here at the baby here at the banter.
It's
you know?
not happening. Then it's never happening. It's as far as I know, it's never happened.
Alrighty. Well, do you want to move on to the next story?
No, I want you to find that link. Any final thoughts on teacher molestation?
Put her in jail. I hope she gets time. She probably won't get nothing. She will get a slap on the wrist.
I am so worried because this charge seems so
It's a bullshit.
specific.
Yeah. Like,
And like they're basically just trying to get her on the
now is that a
delivering
felony
porn to a
charge?
child
If
charge.
that's a
basically.
felony charge, okay, good. But she should be at least charged with a felony because that
Did
definitely
this
is a
say
felony.
felony or no? I don't think this even mentioned because it's a good point. If it's felony, that it affects you in a greater way. So
But if it's not, then that's nothing. What's the point, right? So
it just says a charge.
yeah. So computer aiding, which I don't know. I know. But soliciting a minor is a felony. I know that for a fact. You know, like that is a crime. A felony up to like I don't know how many
Is
years.
this are they in Louisiana here?
Yes.
Oh my god, this is too long to read, and it doesn't just say yes, it's a felony, or no, it's not a felony.
Of course not. Not a big deal. Let's move on. Yeah, let's hope she goes to jail. So these are long.
Well, we gotta go through a court system, so she'll be not in
But
jail
she
for a
won't.
while.
She'll get nothing. She'll get a slap on the wrist. If that. Alrighty. You can take this one.
Toronto Sun. Is this?
Toronto.
Toronto.
Huh?
Toronto. There were no aliens. Cops deny shadow aliens spotted at Miami Mall.
No,
No airports were closed. Nothing is being withheld from the public. Nothing to see here.
So yeah, we didn't cover this on Friday. Actually, Friday evening, probably while we're on the banter. All hell broke loose out of Miami Mall, and there's actually
There are aliens. There are definitely aliens.
and so there's a video down below. You can actually probably watch it. You're gonna say it's a little ways down, a little more ways
okay.
down probably. But yeah, apparently everyone said that they saw 6-foot monsters. Not there's a little bit more down. I don't know. This is another video of something else taking the verse from Fox. But they're saying that there were 6-foot aliens chasing people, shadows.
No, you're getting it wrong. 8 to 10
8
foot.
to 10 foot. People were freaking out. Blah blah blah. Let's go down a little bit more.
Hashtag MiamiAlien. Trending if anybody wants to help keep this going. It is true. I am a believer. More police showed up to the mall in Miami than any other school shooting in the last decade?
Yeah,
Question mark?
check it out at the Miss Coast video right there.
I don't know if the rumors about the aliens at the Miami Mall are real, but I do know I've never seen this many police in one place. All right.
Let's watch the video. So this is for aliens, and what it turned out to be some kids playing with sticks.
It's kind of hard to see the
Make it big, I don't know.
screen. But...
Look at that.
I can't count how many that is. This is for aliens, though?
For aliens. No, okay, so what apparently happened is that there was rumors that there was a shooting, which isn't true either. It was some kids that had some fireworks and they had a fight and they shot a few fireworks. But isn't that crazy? Like they said that much and it's true. I've never seen that many cops at a school shooting yet. This, like, gotta protect a fucking product? I don't know.
10-foot aliens / creatures caught on camera, ? Fired at inside and outside Miami Mall. Media silent. Cops are covering it up, saying kids were fighting with fireworks. Yet all these cop cars and air traffic stopped that night, except for black military choppers, and no media coverage. Okay, that's somebody on X posting like a psycho, crazy person who thinks that no, it was real, because otherwise why were there so many cops?
Too many videos. So.
I've seen too many things where cops send in just obscene number of them.
Yeah,
this doesn't even shock me. I just look at it and go, oh, they all heard it was an alien and all wanted to show up. They all wanted to answer that radio call. And can you blame them? If you get called that 10-foot aliens are at the mall,
I wouldn't go.
Be the cop that
I'd be
shows
going
up.
the other way. I'm going the other way. Screw that shit.
You don't want to be the hero that kills aliens or 10-foot?
I'm not messing with aliens,
Everybody have cell phones, but nobody have an up-close video of an 8 to 10-foot alien?
Yeah.
Another person asked. Exactly. That's a good one. William Shatner got in on it. So apparently space aliens visited a mall in Miami.
Oh, Shatner. Old man.
Confirmed. Aliens were real.
But yeah, that's pretty crazy. Like,
yeah, then they in an email to NBC, they said, nah, it was teens, fireworks, unruly juveniles.
But yeah, some kids just messing around. But it's crazy
there were no aliens.
It's crazy how fast rumors can break, like how fast things
They said LOL.
Yeah.
The government
exactly
said LOL.
LOL,
You can't believe this.
Yeah,
they ended it with a freaking...
Yeah, I think US Today started their headline with the LOL. But
if aliens were
it's
real,
Florida,
they would immediately have an article saying how nope, they're not. Like this is all very sus. Also, this is a very long ways away. Toronto?
Yeah.
Is that?
But that's just Canada. But
yeah, Miami.
Miami also released Instagram video trying to quash the rumors once and for all. Right?
If you look at the beginning of the clip, you can see the person at the bottom of the shadow. If there was an alien, every officer out there would have had their guns out and hiding.
Okay, we'll see. There's a video down below more.
But Miami police released a video to try and quash the rumors. There's now video going viral of 8 to 10-foot aliens walking around Bayside. It is just a person walking with a shadow, so I can confirm to you all here today that there are no aliens in Miami or Bayside Marketplace at the moment.
Yeah. And who says down the road, right?
Who adds something like at the moment?
Well, you never know, right? So it's gonna be
when it's like aliens are a yes/no switch, isn't it? Not a maybe tomorrow. Tucker Carlson's confirming here. He said 2 subjects he won't report on. Oh, UFOs. He used to cover UFOs all the time.
Yeah.
That's half the reason I watch Tucker.
Oh yeah.
Covering UFOs.
Yeah. All right. Well,
if you talk to people who have actual knowledge of it, that they gathered themselves, there are parts of the story that I do not understand at all that are really, really, really dark. That story bothers me.
So yeah, just a whole bunch of people freaking out, and one person said it, the other person said it, they all started running like crazies, and 911 calls, and people are saying shit, and then that's why. Yeah. All right.
There's some stuff there, like, man, I'm not even sure I know what that means. There's a spiritual component there that I don't fully understand. So yes, that story bothers me. So he doesn't want to talk about UFOs, but that's his commentary on this. It's like, oh yeah, no, that sounds really, that's crazy. That's probably real. Now I'm reading his comment.
Maybe he's like, that's why he doesn't want to talk about it, because he's like, no, they're real.
I think there's a chance they were real, especially since we don't have any of the footage to disprove it.
Yeah.
And if the officials are telling you there were no aliens, why would you believe them
there's
this
aliens.
time?
Yeah, 100 Biden.
You don't believe them when they say anything else.
Last time
but you're
Hunter
reading
Biden
this.
got in trouble, they talked about aliens.
If
So
Joe
next-
Biden
yeah.
came out on stage and said there were no aliens, half my country would be like, they're fucking aliens.
But every time Hunter Biden gets in trouble, there's something about aliens in the news. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I did hear Hunter. They're doing something with him.
So
They're trying to get him on charges for not showing up to that subpoena.
oh yeah, see,
The one where he said he wanted to have it in public, and then they tried to make it private, so he didn't show up.
but he agreed to it
That
though.
whole
So.
ordeal. Yeah,
But
he
yes.
agreed to He agreed to
A
it with
private,
the condition of
yeah.
public,
No,
and then they tried to change the agreement.
no, he agreed
so he
to.
didn't show up.
He agreed to it, and then he still didn't show up.
He
But-
agreed to a public
he-
public hearing,
he-
and then they tried to make him do a private hearing.
No, I heard that.
No, that's literally my understanding of it.
Yeah,
Is he
that's-
agreed to do
I-
it publicly?
I understood
Because
definitely too.
it's in his interest for everyone to hear it. He doesn't want it
Yes.
to be behind closed doors.
But
I don't know whose interest it's in to have it behind closed doors. Not mine at all.
It's not in Biden's interest for it to be in open doors. So
Yeah, it is.
No.
He said so.
yeah,
Biden himself said so.
Yeah, you can trust everything.
He said he
Biden
wanted
says.
it public.
Yeah,
He himself said it.
And when he went behind the counter, he's like, "Let's not make this public, guys. We cannot make this public."
I don't know. All I have is him saying he wanted it public, and then conservatives trying to make it private, and now trying to. I guess they were trying to censure, and then realized that doesn't make sense since he's not an elected official. Now they're going for a different charge.
I miss. There, we're gonna have to look into that a little bit. But yeah,
The aliens are definitely covering up that story. That big story that has a lot of political impacts.
okay,
Hunter's not in office anywhere. He has no power.
yeah, but still,
No
for
more
some
than
reason-
any other rich person.
for sure. But
And
for some
honestly, the
reason,
Bidens
Biden,
aren't that
so-
rich. Did you know Biden's like kind of broke?
He's with his 3 houses.
Wow, 3 houses is nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a rich people comparing convention and you say, "Ha, I've got 3 houses," all the rich people will laugh at you and be like,
yes, yeah, we got 10.
"What? We're not counting houses, dumbass. How many yachts do you have?" And Elon's like, "I've got a rocket."
Al Jazeera. From Al Jazeera. I can't say that one either. White House rejects call for U.S. defense chief to go.
Oh,
Did you know your defense chief is in the hospital?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say this is an update to a story we hadn't done.
Yeah.
The first story being that no one was even told he was in the hospital, and he had, I guess, the replacement was just doing his job.
Yeah. So, and nobody knew. They didn't tell anybody, right? So.
Yeah, and then they wanted to do something to him. They wanted him to go because he didn't tell anybody, and now that's been rejected. So we've come a little ways without ever even talking about it.
Yeah. So, my first takes on this is like, okay, I'm not American, but if you're gonna be the Secretary of Defense, you are a very important man. You have to be there. You got to be on the go 24/7. And if you're sick, okay, get it. You are sick. Shit happens. But isn't there first like a deputy Secretary of Defense? And it should be made. People should be know that is. If your main person's sick, like he's pretty high into command, isn't he? Like what position is he behind Biden? Not that far, I don't think.
Secretary of Defense is number 6 in line.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Behind the Secretary of the Treasury and the Secretary of State, and then the President pro tempore of the Senate and the Speaker of the House Rep and Vice President.
Nice, yeah.
So yeah, Lloyd Austin is number 6 in the line, right above the Attorney General.
And first of all, what's with another old man being in freaking politics? You know,
That's all
like
we have. That's all we have down here. This guy's 70.
okay, yeah, that's not that old, I guess, compared. But 70 years
Now,
old enough.
This is saying in the chain of command for the military, he's just below Biden.
So he's second in the military. Yeah, there you go.
Because Secretary of Defense, that makes sense because you look at this: the Secretary of Treasury, State, the Senate, the House. Yeah, none of those would be military.
Okay, so you
Secretary
got
of Defense is the first military.
So you
branch.
got Joe Biden. Then the only person who maybe can talk some sense into Joe Biden is in the hospital. I don't know. That's pretty messed up. Like,
So wait, this says he remains in hospital, which he entered on New Year's Day. Is he still
no,
there today?
like that's what it seems like. Yeah. So he's
Like,
there. So
and
he's
this is
clear.
as of January 8th. This article. So
Whatever's wrong with him, he cannot be. They need to get someone else in there. They got to do the job. You guys are at war, right? I think you guys are, but you guys just
No,
shut
we're
down.
not.
You guys just shut down Iranian. Not Iranian, but you guys are
Yeah,
about
but
to
if
go to
you-
war. You guys are
if you-
about to be in war. You're in a
if you
proxy war.
qualified that as
Okay.
being at war, we would have never not been at war.
But you're in a proxy war with
And I
Russia.
would partially
you got a whole
agree
bunch
with
of other
you,
stuff.
but my
So
country would disagree with you. They
Yeah,
would
but
say,
yeah.
nuh-uh, we didn't declare war.
you
It's
didn't
only
claim
war
war,
when we
but you're in a
submit.
proxy war with Russia. You're in a proxy war with Gaza. You know, you're funding them like whatever. And the guy who's sick, they're like, oh, not a big deal.
We fund strategical military allies.
But how is it that
Yeah.
like nobody sees a problem that like how can they not?
Everyone
Like,
sees a
if
problem
this was
with it.
Republican,
What are you gonna do?
if this was Republican, the Democrats would be standing out there.
So wait, what's your contentious with this? That they didn't tell the American public about it?
That he's the second in charge and he's in the hospital dying. Maybe not dying.
Do you think that should be told to Americans?
They should have
Is
someone
that
else
your
take.
issue with it?
They should let people know exactly what's going on. Yes.
Because somebody did take the wheel.
Yeah.
It's not personless, but
But
I'm trying to understand what's angering you because I'm an American citizen and I don't give a shit about this.
Yeah, you don't care, but
This means nothing
But
to me.
it's just
Who is this guy that I've never heard of?
Yeah, he's a Secretary of Defense, and that's because
He's number 6 in line,
and number 2 for the military. So there you go, and what happens with American reacts to Canada for sure. But if they get that, you don't want the enemy to know. Okay, I can see your point there, but the people should know.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's a secret.
But it doesn't matter.
Just tell the American.
But the people should know that. Okay, look at the guy that, and is he okay? Does the president pick him or does he get voted in?
I think it's an appointed cabinet position.
Appointed? I'm not sure. Anyway, they should have someone who they should make, maybe not even that low, but they should be less say, okay, they got to get someone else in there. Now that it's public knowledge, get someone else in
appointed.
there. Get someone else in there who is mentally okay. No, I guess you need to fix your president first, but
the president appoints and then the Senate confirms, just like several other things.
like speaker and all that. No, speaker's not like that. So
no. Judges would be another example.
I don't know. I just think it's crazy how.
But the problem here that I'm seeing for sure is that the president was not aware. The president should be aware.
Was he?
And him notifying him it says Austin has been criticized for failing to immediately tell the president and the public about his hospitalization. Okay. So
during the war in Gaza strips,
I don't care about him telling the public. I actually don't expect to hear that.
Okay.
Why would I? But the president and his superiors and the government should know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't they want to know?
Yeah. Okay.
They're the government.
Yeah.
They need to actually function. I mean, that's like calling in but not calling your boss.
Yeah. So he didn't call in. No, he didn't call in. He just didn't show up.
It was a no-call, no-show. He did a no-call, no-show.
For 8 days or how many days, right? So, I think...
He has been missing for 1 week and nobody, including his boss, crooked Joe Biden, had a clue as to where he was or might be, Trump wrote.
Yeah.
Well, okay, those are Trump's words, so I don't know if crooked Joe Biden
Crooked Joe Biden. I do like that saying.
If it is, yeah. But if this is why they're saying Joe didn't know, I need more than just Trump claiming Joe didn't know, because Trump wouldn't know what Joe knew.
Yes, but it's okay. But that's the thing, though. If Joe knows, Joe should be like, okay, he's unfit to be there. He's got to go. You know, it's not like having the flu for 5 days. You're literally hospitalized for some reason. Why is he hospitalized? Does he, you know, like, we do not need someone like that at charge of a button. Maybe he's not in charge of the button, but Biden is, and Biden and him are supposed to be close, right?
Well, look, elected and appointed people are allowed to be sick, right?
Yes, but you got to be...
We don't immediately fire people for being sick.
But you got to be...
Regardless of if I like the person or not.
Okay, but...
And I don't even
not
know if
telling
I like
them,
this guy.
But, like, again, you turn your phone off for 7 days and don't tell them. Even if you're in the hospital, what are they going to do?
Well, so far I've only got Trump claiming that. I've got nobody else claiming he did a no-call, no-show. I've got Trump claiming that.
Okay, but then I guess because someone else.
I need a little bit more than just Trump's claim.
I guess someone else has his job, but again,
And the only other thing I read about this was that there was somebody who took his place and was
but
doing
then
the job.
shouldn't the
So, like,
Senate be?
I don't think I believe Trump.
Okay, yeah, you say that though. Shouldn't the Senate be voting on who took that job as a replacement then?
It depends if that's how it's supposed to work. I didn't take government as a major.
So,
For
we should
all intents
fucking
and
know all
purposes, it
this
may
shit,
work
you
like
know.
everything else. If it works like the succession of the presidency, no, there's no check. It goes to the next one. It may have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah,
Here's
then
who's
who was
next.
it? Yeah, okay.
The line of succession for the what is this called? The Secretary of Defense.
Yeah.
It may have its own line of succession. It probably does. But like I said, I'm not gonna learn it. Secretary succession. Yeah, I think this is it right here. And on December 10th, 2020, Donald Trump modified the order of succession for the Office of Secretary of Defense in Executive Order 13963. So as of his official order, 2020, the number 2 after, or I guess the number 1 after Secretary of Defense is Deputy Secretary of Defense.
Deputy, yeah. Sense, yeah.
Which is who I think I remember reading. I don't quite. Number 2 has an asterisk, so I guess you get to choose. It says Secretary of the Army, Secretary of the Navy, Secretary of the Air Force. I assume that asterisk means you just get to choose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And then there's an Undersecretary of Defense for Policy and an Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security and a Chief Management Officer of the Department. Okay, yeah, there's like 18 people in line. Oh,
all
the
right.
asterisk
Yeah,
mean it's
like you
determined by
said you don't want to
seniority.
learn it, you're learning. I don't want to learn either.
I am. Well, I dug too deep. So
I don't
all
have
that happened
anything-
here was the guy went down, so the deputy took the place. Like, we don't
Okay.
fire people for that. You're allowed to be sick.
Yeah,
no
but
matter
you
what
can-
Trump wants this to be. And that's why I said, like, if this is all we've got is Trump thinking that this is a big deal, I don't think it is.
But if he didn't,
As
and
an
if
American
he's-
citizen, I don't give a fuck if it's the deputy or the main. They're both appointed.
Okay, are they? Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yes,
so.
they're not elected. We didn't choose them. We chose Biden, sort of. Actually, we chose electors, and those electors chose Biden, and then now Biden is choosing these things.
Yeah. So,
How is my choice in this anymore? It's
it
not.
never is, never will be.
My voice is gone.
But yeah, I don't know.
Also, according to the White House press secretary, it's fine. Biden has confidence.
But
Isn't that good enough for you
Yeah,
that the
sure.
press secretary says it's fine?
I don't. Oh yeah, sure.
Oh my god!
Great.
How many different ones has he had? Because I know we go through these like hotcakes.
Yeah, I don't know.
They'll say something dumb and they'll get a new one.
Yeah, well, that's kind of yeah.
They
Yeah.
do. It's just true. I mean, they get asked the hard questions and then they just give a really terrible answer, and then you never see them again. The more we got Blue here in chat. The more important the position, the more confident you can be that there are systems in place to ensure that their responsibilities are covered in absence, regardless of being informed of such. That was a long-winded way of saying, yeah.
So, yeah.
Agree.
It's
It's above my pay grade to worry about who's taking over.
yeah. What else do we have here? I think we got a handful
It was
more.
revealed on Sunday that
Yeah.
Austin's hospitalization was kept more secret than previously known, including his deputy and others close to Biden being unaware of Austin's health condition.
So yeah, he
So it was
wasn't on
revealed by who? There were no notifications or of knowledge at the White House or the National Security Council until Thursday afternoon, Kirby said. Who's Kirby?
Kirby. I've heard that name before.
Who's Kirby?
So yeah,
Was
so
Kirby
Joe
mentioned
Biden,
up here?
No, I just heard Kirby before. I know, like, not the game. The freaking. I don't know if I'm right.
Kirby said he did not have that information, but Biden and Austin had spoken in recent.
I don't have anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I need a lot more detail to be upset about this. And
I just
hi. This is my first time seeing you, Lloyd.
He looks like he's fucked up right there. He looks like he's near death.
Now that being said, he was appointed by Biden, so I don't expect this guy to be squeaky clean. I'm not going to run defense for this guy. He's probably an asshole. He's probably a terrible person.
All right.
That's all. That's all I got to say about Lloyd.
What else do we have here?
We have CBS News Minnesota.
All yours.
Public Safety Commissioner explains Minnesota's new red flag law.
You know what red flag? Yeah, this
Yeah, I
is
kind of know what red flags are. Did you find this or did I? I'm trying to
this was
remember.
you.
I did?
Yeah.
Did I pre-read it?
Yeah. So I know a little bit of red flag laws. They've been trying to push them. Red flag laws are, if it's more so guns, it's for gun safeties. Like, so say someone's,
Oh,
you
okay,
know,
now I
someone who,
remember.
you know, someone who's crazy, and you know they have a gun. You can call the government pretty much and be like, hey, so and so is acting pretty crazy, and I know he has guns. So the red flag law, like, and I could be wrong, so don't quote me on this, but the red flag law lets them come in and evaluate you, and if you're not right, they can literally take that gun away from you without constitutional backlash or something. Is that the correct term?
Constitutional.
I don't know
Constitutional
I don't
backlash.
know if that'd be the right term.
I mean, we
so,
act like it's like the end of the
so,
world to take somebody's gun. Like we don't do that to everybody we throw
Yeah.
in jail. Like,
yeah. So,
hello, you never had a right to one anyways, but it's not like you come out of the womb and we hand you one and you
Yeah.
never can get it taken from you.
But
But
yeah.
yeah, so this is saying basically what you're saying. Someone you know has a gun and can arm themselves, or someone in the community, you call in. So in Minnesota, it's actually called the Extreme Risk Protection Order Law. Wow, that's quite the
Yeah.
name. There are two types. There are two types or orders. One is temporary and one is permanent. So they could temporarily take your weapons or permanently take your weapons,
Okay.
I suppose. Forms are available right now and on the Minnesota Judicial Branch website. You can just go on there and start filling them out for people you know.
I know what the weird thing is. Like, I know I'm not like. I know if you know somebody who's gonna go crazy, please say something. Because when you feel like shit, but you hear about all these school shootings and all these mass shootings, like, you know what they say every single time?
That they knew about him and did nothing.
He was on our radar, exactly, right? It's like,
Yeah,
oh, we thought he was
we
gonna
knew
do
he.
like
Well, we thought those 50 guns and that stockpile of ammunition was normal. We thought that was fine.
we thought he was gonna
Like
do something.
people have ridiculous numbers.
We thought he was
and they'll
gonna
be
do
like,
something,
"Yeah,
but
it's
it's
fine."
next weekend, not this. We didn't think it was gonna be this weekend. Our bad, right? Like,
Whoopsie. We
Yeah.
were paying attention, just not
So-
that close.
but that's how it
You're
is.
right.
Like, so they know. Like, people are gonna do this stuff. Usually, just don't do it out of the blue. But that's, I don't know what to think. I think it's a good thing.
So this may just add this just may add even more evidence that they'll sit on and do nothing with. Because again, cops can choose to do nothing.
Yes. Now
If
my
they
only
get
fear
if they get
is
these petitions, they could do nothing.
my only fear is a whole bunch of people just do that out of spite, and when does it come to an end? Right? So
Well, I mean, if you're maliciously filing a bunch of these without clear and convincing evidence, you're going to have a bad time with
Yeah,
the law
so,
enforcement
yeah.
yourself.
But-
If you're abusing the system, I don't expect you're going to get away with that for very long.
Yeah.
If so, what kind of system did we build here?
yeah, I just
Maybe
like,
don't
okay.
have a fucking website. Maybe make people do it in person again.
Yeah,
Because
so
it's a lot harder to be a dickbag in person. You know?
oh, for sure. Yeah, if you had to go in and like, I this person here, blah blah blah, drive him to the house. Yeah. So.
But what do you think clear and convincing evidence even means? Like, I don't know what this means.
Facebook posts, maybe. I'm assuming, maybe conversations, but it gets hard to prove a conversation. Text messages, like.
Yeah, I guess
don't know.
it had to be some sort of conversation, communication of the person and or photographic evidence of the weapons or them being dangerous with the weapons.
But that's the thing. Like, people say things sometimes out of anger all the time. They don't mean something, you know? Like, you gotta be careful what you say, especially being online right now. But you can literally just say one thing wrong out of context. And they'll be like, oh, well, he meant this. Like, no, it was a heat of the moment thing, right? Like, I hate you. Like, no, I don't hate you. I hated you at the moment. Not, you know, like.
So this seems like it's more specific. I'm not sure who this is. He says you can file an order if you are a spouse or domestic partner, a roommate, or a child or parent or someone who is involved in a quote significant romantic or sexual relationship with an individual. So this can't just be your friend.
Okay, yeah, okay. So, yeah.
Or a buddy at the bar, or a guy you want to piss off, or
Okay, that's good, yeah.
an elected official you want to see if this works on.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Wink,
cool,
wink,
so,
wink,
yeah.
wink.
Yeah,
Don't.
okay. That's good. I'm glad they probably thought about that. That's good.
I don't know if this is like if that's really the limitation, but that sort of limits it a little bit more. Takes away some of those scenarios you're thinking about. It doesn't completely, because sometimes your romantic relationship is the person who's gonna fuck with you.
Yeah,
You know?
and they could just do, and
Right.
again, out of spite. But again, hopefully, I hope when they go to drop off that piece of paper, they'll look them in the eye and be like, you know that it's illegal to make a false claim, and make sure that they know it's a federal crime to lie about it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
okay,
So, and of course, guns rights groups are worried about this. That's exactly what you expect, because it's
Yeah.
the taking the guns argument. They don't want that to happen, especially not just another person in society just deciding, hey, I'm going to write this up and you can get your gun taken.
But that's the thing.
So
I
if
don't.
this happens, you got to go out there and schedule your hearing apparently and show up in front of a judge, and the judge in the local district court will decide if you keep your gun.
I wonder if you can appeal that. But
We'll
again, so
find out, because it says we're going to see how it
most
plays out,
gun
'cause it hasn't happened
supporters,
yet.
most gun people who like guns do want gun control. Everyone, a lot of people think, oh, the NRA doesn't want gun control. People want gun control. Just it's different kinds, right? Like, most people are like, oh yes, if the crazy motherfucker doesn't deserve a gun. If he comes in high on meth, yeah, maybe we don't sell him a gun. You know what I mean? But
Well, I mean, then why is the NRA not against the private gun sales?
I couldn't answer that question.
Or the what was that one where they just have a big fair, gun fair or whatever, the gun shows, the gun show loophole? Why are they not against that? These are the places where you can get a gun. Those are the methods where you can get a gun without any kind of a background check.
Yeah,
Like, those are the loopholes
that's
to avoid the thing that would know you're a meth head
yeah,
criminal.
see, that's
thing.
what's wrong. That's what they should definitely
But the
change.
NRA is not actually against those. They actually really love gun shows, and they also really love private gun sales. So, like, saying what they're for or against is kind of wishy-washy, because what they actually do with their action is different from what they say. What they're interested in makes a lot more sense when you look at it this way. What the NRA is interested in, gun sales. Number up, good. That's it. And if you look at it that way, the reason they like gun shows make money go up, make dollar go up, make sale go up.
Yeah. Blue
It's
just
very
said
simple.
it's a way for family members to notify the law that there's a chance they could be murdered, and here's why. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you'll see some instances where somebody dies, and after the fact, we'll know that they had done one of these things.
Yeah, then they're gonna have to look into it.
And we'll
again,
all
right?
feel kind of
So-
bad, but
But yeah, so
and then we'll move on.
yeah, that's pretty much it. It's not gonna.
That's going to be one of the ways it plays out. Another way we'll see it play out is somebody will have their gun taken away for seemingly no reason at all.
Yeah, and
We'll probably
that's
see
where I
both
think
scenarios play
and
out.
that's gonna be the shitty part, is because someone like that is gonna get it, and that's just gonna cause more problems.
And this comes down to another unelected official, a judge. The local district court judge is appointed by an elected official, but appointments by elected people just don't quite feel like your voice was in the decision.
Yeah, because you might agree with someone like with 8 out of 10 things, but the
And
2
I don't
out
know
of
who
10
appoints
things,
these, but governor, mayor,
just
if
keep
they're bought
cutting me
off by
off.
the
That's
NRA,
fine. So
I will.
yeah, at least you heard that. But yeah, I forgot what I was saying now, but yeah, let's see how this goes. I'm sure we'll hear some stories about it, some good, some bad. But yeah, I guess if that does save a life, if they can stop a school shooting before it happens, that'd be amazing.
I mean, how do you know though? Like,
They have
when
a
you
manifest.
do,
They
you
have a
don't know.
manifest. They're all ready to go. Boom! Right?
Guess.
Right.
Do we
So
count every manifesto as how many lives is a manifesto worth?
depends on how many are on it. You know.
Well, I mean, I think most people have more on their manifesto than they end up getting, right?
I don't know, to be fair. So.
Yeah. It's one of those things that's hard to say how successful it is, which is another place where you're going to see guns rights groups criticizing it, because it's hard to show its success, right?
Okay.
You don't know how many lives it'll save, if any. Especially if it's used in petty ways, it could save no lives.
Maybe we can harm some. What else do we have here?
Although I bet there's some statistics on who you're most likely to use a gun on, and it probably includes those people on that list. You know what I mean? Like a close family member or roommate kind of things are the most likely to be used, like if you have a gun.
Oh, 100%.
Who you're most likely to use them on. I'm sure they did some correlation to some stats to come up with that.
From the CBC, new study investigates threat of watermelon snow to mountain glaciers. What is watermelon snow?
Watermelon snow is dangerous to mountain glaciers.
I don't know what watermelon snow is.
Colorful algae, apparently, colonize thousands of North American snowfields each summer. So, weird. Snowfields, you should know about this. North American snowfields, that's Canada.
Yeah, so.
You don't know anything about it. Here it is.
Oh, weird.
Oh, look at this. There it is.
Oh, weird. I might have seen
watermelon. It kind of just looks like there's been a murder there, like a seal.
seal or something. Yeah, exactly.
Like a little while ago,
A
like
deer or
there's been like
something.
one layer.
Okay, I
A
did not know
little
about that. But so what's happening?
The end of the world. Rocky Mountains conjure up images of gray, rugged peaks capped with white, but within the upper reaches, the harsh mountain landscapes a rosier hue often blooms. Okay. Also known as glacier blood.
There you go. That's it. Does it look blood, right?
Watermelon snow, glacial blood. So what's the problem?
I don't
It's
know.
a threat.
You found the story. So
Oh, I just that alone, watermelon snow. I never knew that existed. That's reason
yeah.
enough to cover it. And then that picture, here's your watermelon snow. But then I got down to glacial blood, and it's like, okay, well, we all need to know about this, but I don't know about it yet. I didn't pre-read.
Yeah. So I've never heard about it. So is it?
So new research sheds light on the threat snow algae poses to shrinking glaciers. Okay.
So it makes it melts faster. So the
Well,
dark.
the findings serve as a warning about our changing climate. So I guess seeing them in places that they didn't normally see them.
How long has
is
it
a
been
problem?
tracking this algae though? That's a thing though, right? So
Losing the algae is just an indicator that we're losing snowpack and glaciers, and these will impact our lives and the lives of a lot of other organisms. So the algae is
disappearing. I guess I don't know. I'm very
I
confused.
thought they were saying the algae was added.
I don't.
So the darker the snow, the faster it melts. So I guess it being red makes it melt faster than it being white snow.
Maybe because it packs more heat. I don't know, but
That's true when you're wearing a shirt. I know that.
I'm not worried.
Study mapped the presence of snow algae on mountains in Alberta, British Columbia, and Canada's north along Alaska, Idaho, Montana, and Washington State. So they're doing this up there and you're not even paying attention. They're mapping your algae.
Yeah, well, probably. So they're doing a lot up there that we don't know. Now it's way too cold for me to go check it out, so I don't care.
So this says that they've been doing this more than 6,100 satellite images captured between 2019 and 2022. So 3 years, I guess they've been doing it, maybe 4 years. Count the 2024.
And again, that's not enough data to use, I don't think.
For what?
Or anything to say that
science?
For science, yeah. Especially with how old the world is, like you're gonna use 4 years of data when they don't.
No, you don't think they could take some snow and put it next to some snow with this algae on it in the same place and see what happens? Because that's science.
But I'm just saying is like how do they know?
If the algae makes it melt faster, then you know this algae makes it melt faster.
But how long has this algae been around? Did it just show up 4 years ago, or has it been
you're
around?
going on to the next. You're going to the next question. You're making leaps.
Yeah, well, that's why they do leaps, because you got to make those leaps so you don't waste time. So
they're doing a study to see how much this contributes, if at all, to glacial melt. And now, what impact glacial melt has on all kinds of other things is all other questions. This isn't to say like this proves climate change. No one's saying, "Hey, we found red pigment. Now climate change true." That is such a crazy leap.
That's what
all they're trying to say is that this may make it melt faster.
If this says it's caused by humans at the bottom, you have to say you're wrong.
Well, I mean, are humans causing the algae to
I don't know.
It's possible we are. I don't know what makes them bloom, but we could be a cause of why they're appearing in places. Who knows?
Yeah, they think it's an impact of climate change. Think is a key word too. But yeah,
I think the impact of climate change on them is clear and dramatic. So I mean that's taking the, where they're finding the algae and making another claim that would need, actual scientific evaluation.
So, but yeah, like okay, cool. I can see why they think that, but I don't know. Let's go on. What else does it say? The red mechanism.
So we set out. I'm starting to read this. We set out to study to look. I don't even know if it's worth reading.
Read it. Come on, don't be quiet.
We set out on this study to look at the impact of climate change on these blooms and their impact on climate change. See, I didn't want to read it because I was pretty sure it didn't mean anything. That means nothing now that I read it. I wanted to skim it and scroll to read another one that's actually worth reading.
Yeah, none of this is.
Because I'm just trying to skim and figure out. Well, because you're of the mindset that climate change is not real. So
I never said climate change isn't real. I've always said
now, this isn't even talking about climate change other than these people's quotes. This is people talking about algae melting glaciers. You should care about melting glaciers because we know what melting glaciers does.
Yes.
It impacts ecosystems, which is exactly what this article is talking about, is the impact to all the animals that are going to go extinct. basically, is what's going to happen. Even if you believe that climate gets cold, gets warm, gets cold, gets warm, species have still gone extinct.
For sure.
In those times of going cold and warm.
And they'll find
so
new
understanding
species.
what's going to die will help us.
And they'll find
what's going to live.
Yeah.
Because we use these things. We may not use this thing directly, this bacteria or fungi, maybe what a food thing that we eat, it eats. And this going away makes that fish go away. And now people can't have their fancy fish. We humans like our choices. We want to know when one of our choices is going to go away and if we could do something about it. And if it's this damn watermelon snow and just needs to be painted white, we'll do it.
So the blooms act as carbon sinks, absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Isn't that good?
Because carbon sinks.
No, we want to get rid of carbon dioxide, don't we?
Isn't that what trees do?
Yeah, so that's good.
But do these things do it anywhere near enough?
If you put those beside the cows will fart, the carbon dioxide will go in there, and boom. Climate change solved.
I mean,
just move the cows north. No. But yeah,
because I can't imagine these things. I mean, it's
being facetious.
Close to the size of a tree.
Yeah. The red pigment means that when they bloom, they give the snow a red hue.
And they call it watermelon snow because it looks like the color of watermelon.
Thanks, I appreciate that. They're not too worried about touching it with their hands, though. So
no, it's just algae and fungi. I don't know. Yeah. I wouldn't touch it. Looks like blood. So the blooms darken the surface of the summer snowfields, making them less reflective against the sun, causing the snowpack and the ice beneath the bloom to melt faster.
Alrighty.
Yeah, so I mean that sounds like it's a predictable thing. You know when you see these pigments, the other things you're going to see because of it. So I mean it sounds like good science to do. You can know a lot just by seeing a little red pigment on some snow now because they've done this research.
All right.
If you're going to go ice fishing and you see this red pigment, don't. As a first example. Because that snowpack, you're not going to have good solid ice. You cannot go ice fishing without good solid ice. So if you're seeing this red pigment, don't go ice fishing. That's the first thing. I just saved a life. If somebody went ice fishing and didn't know about that and they, went to the wrong place, boom.
Alrighty. Well,
so it looks like they're also measuring how much of it. So they've got 4,200 square kilometers. So if like in 10 years this goes up to like 40,000, would that be alarming?
Yeah, maybe, but they need to see that.
So is measuring it worth it?
I never said it wasn't, but I just thought they were going to push their own climate agenda, which they're probably going to try to do. But sure, measure it. But why it could be good. Maybe this could be good for things. Maybe there'll be something good out of it.
I mean, you say the climate agenda, but like these are just scientists doing science. They don't really have an agenda. They're testing a thesis. Yeah. They're testing the science. Now, what the politicians do with these studies, that may be what you're talking about. That may be an agenda where they take these numbers and say, hey, this number means this. This number means nothing. So this number means everything. You're going to see a Democrat take this and go, this number means everything.
Yeah, because
they takes it and says, this means nothing.
They could say, but exactly,
look at it.
So yeah, they could come out, but like
and
4 years ago, 4 years ago there was 0. Now there's 4,552 of the 8,700, and that would be a correct statement. It would be a correct statement, but it's misleading because they didn't study it before 4 years ago, right? But
well, yeah, I mean, if you really have to see that wording on what they're saying, the increase of 0 to 4,500 was.
But politicians do that shit all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Now the scientists would look at all the politicians like they're crazy and say, this is not nothing, and this is not everything. This is just some science. And if we keep following it, it may tell us things. And I, for one, don't want them to stop telling us stuff just because I'm worried about what somebody might do with that information. Because that's silly.
Hey there, Grave. Appreciate you jumping in. Welcome to the show.
G Grave, yeah. Hey, how you doing? We're just talking about watermelon snow or glacial blood or whatever it was.
Okay. Well, I don't have anything else. I think we got the 2 more stories here, and that is kind of neat looking, though. You gotta admit, it does look kind of cool. But
yeah, and I don't know what their thesis of this is because we never read the endings.
Yeah.
They're
Read
just
it.
saying it's going to be
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, okay. Maybe
No, I'm
it's
not reading all
important,
these. You can read them all.
Yeah, sure. It could be important, but we don't know until we're there.
As the snowpack dwindles, these blooms are going to become increasingly concentrated and smaller and smaller. Great. I like my thesis better. Don't go ice fishing if you see the watermelon snow.
I just don't go ice fishing anyway.
Because if you see watermelon snow, that means stuff's melting more than it should, and you shouldn't go ice fishing where stuff's melting.
Okay, good.
That's my science.
Alrighty. So we've got 2 more articles here, I think.
Now let's talk about religious science.
Take this, and I'll take the last one.
This one's Associated Press. Pope Francis calls for a universal ban on surrogacy. Says it exploits mother and child.
Huh. Well, he's all over the place. He just say it's okay for gay people to get married, but now he's like, oh, but now women can't have babies. So, and I know that's not what he's saying, but what do you think about that? What do you think about?
Oh, I think it's retarded.
About this or surrogacy?
The topic we're on.
Okay,
What are you asking about?
Like, what do you think about it? But yeah, but the Pope is saying it's
about
stupid.
the surrogacy
yeah.
and his opinion on it?
Yeah.
His opinion's retarded.
Whoa.
No, this is the correct use of that word. He wants a universal ban on surrogacy. What an absolutely mentally devoid thing to say.
No, it is 100%.
Just absolutely devoid of mental
there's a lot of women out there.
Look at this fucking hat.
There's a lot of women out there who want to have kids and they can't. And the only option for them is to give them their egg, go to the doctor, donate their egg, and put that egg in another woman who is willing to carry that baby to term for them. So
yeah, there's multiple scenarios, and it is just like, why you're even taking a take on this? Like, your little holy book doesn't talk about this. There's no shot.
Yeah, there's no way.
There's no shot it covers it. So like, why are you even saying anything?
So
Pope Francis attends his weekly general audience in the Pope Paul VI Hall at the Vatican. Pope Francis called Monday for a universal ban on the despicable practice of surrogate motherhood, as he included the commercialization of pregnancy in an annual speech listing the threats to global peace and human dignity.
Before we go on here, I know there's some women do that as a job or surrogacy, where they'll just have baby over baby over baby over baby. If that's what he means, I can kind of see his point, because that's pretty messed up. I think so, but that's not really. I don't know. That's a pretty.
Which part of it's messed up that they have? Is there a number? Is it too many? Is it the number that's the messed up part?
I don't know.
Or is it the making money? Which part is messed up?
Well, they're just doing it for the money. That is pretty weird. Like, okay, like a sister will do it for a sister. That's different. But if you're doing it for a job, I think.
Well, how do you determine they're doing it just for anything? I mean, I've never done anything just for one reason.
Yes, but if they go and have...
People are complex creatures.
If in 10 years they have 10 kids, that might not be good for the 10th child as well, because you need time to recover and stuff. But not only that, it's like, are you...
Oh, I'm against people having 10 kids. That's a different topic.
I'm not just saying...
This person's giving them away to different homes, so it's no home's going to have 10 kids in it, which is what I'm against.
It's not a freaking puppy litters,
though. You can't neglect your kids when you have over a certain number. For me, there is actually a number where it's a problem, but not with surrogacy. Because these are going to different homes, not your home.
Yes, but let's see what the article means anyway, before we get too far into it.
And I obviously have no problem with you getting paid, because, I mean, 9 months of carrying a child, you don't do that for free. I would crazy to ask me to do that for free.
So
I wonder how much they actually charge.
I don't know. It's still pretty weird.
50K?
So I don't know. I think most people would do it for free for their friend. I don't know how it is, but Phoebe did it for free. She gave away. She had 3 kids.
Phoebe? Are you talking about Friends?
Yeah, I am. So
no one told you life was. That's all I can say. Legally.
So he's being an asshole again. So why does he say that? So the life of the unborn child must be protected and not suppressed and turned into an object of trafficking.
Wait, what?
Now if there's people literally holding a woman hostage and getting them pregnant and selling their kids, that's trafficking. But
that's not surrogacy.
Yeah, that's not surrogacy. No,
child human trafficking. I'm against that. Of course, I'm against that.
No, but I would go against that kind of trafficking. No, this is not trafficking.
I consider despicable practice of so-called surrogate motherhood, which represents a grave violation of the dignity of the woman and the child, based on the exploitation of situations of the mother's material needs.
Like, there's some women who can't have babies that would be great mothers. So, and again, if there's a woman who's a drug addict or something and she wants to get rid of her child, there's a lot of people who be like, "No, what? I can use a child, right?" So,
Right, and I don't think he's saying he has a problem with that, because it says saying a child is a gift and, quote, never the basis of a commercial contract. His problem with it, Pope's problem with it, is the money.
maybe that's exactly what I can
His
see
problem
that.
is with the surrogate mother being compensated. He'd be totally
Yeah.
fine with it if it weren't that, because that would be something different, right?
So,
I guess.
no, I can see where he's coming from though, but because he's like, it's not like, it's childbearing a business. No, it's not. But it's not a business. But yeah, I can see his point, but I don't know.
I don't see his point. I'm going to stick with my initial take on this, and that he's retarded. And that he's got some sort of a mental deficiency going on here to have a problem with this.
Right.
Because there are people,
Okay.
like you keep saying it again and again. There are people who cannot have children, who want to have children, and will raise children.
Yes.
We have tons of children who need raised, and you're going to give people shit who want to raise a child. Like, come on, of all the people to give shit to.
Oh yeah.
Uterus for rent. Yeah, you can make it sound shady and weird, but I again go back to it's almost certainly not the only reason you're doing it. Like, people who are doing surrogacy don't just need money. There's lots of ways to just get money. This really is probably not a very lucrative one.
Yeah, I don't know, but
Why do they keep talking about Ukraine?
because that's what they have to talk about, right?
Well,
But
okay, so Russia's born in Ukraine. The threat to babies born to surrogate Ukrainian mothers expose the country's thriving industry. What?
it was Ukraine. I heard that. I don't know if I heard about. I'm not sure if I have heard about that or not. Ukraine, because a lot of adopted children came from Ukraine, right? And ironically, gonna go off topic, but did you ever hear about that kid who the parents blamed being a kid, adult? They adopted a young girl from Ukraine, and they tried to say it was that old lady, and they abandoned the child.
You lost
Anyway,
me, but I definitely didn't hear about
anyway,
it.
it turns out that they did a DNA test on the kid. This is now 10 years later, and the kid was indeed a kid and not an adult. But yeah.
Sounds crazy.
So
Ukraine is one of the few countries that allows surrogacy for foreigners.
yeah, it's probably
Again,
cheap. Probably cheaper. So you get a Ukrainian lady knocked up, and then he has a baby, and you fly it here.
So I guess this would be like a person from the United States flies over there, says, "Hey, here's the egg. You do the
Yeah.
job. We'll be back in 9 months," kind of thing.
Maybe not exactly like that, but yes. So yes, somewhere on those lines.
So critics say commercial surrogacy targets women who are poor and from vulnerable communities. So if there's like a company doing this, like a corporation that's trying to recruit women to be surrogates and then using that, like I have a different stance if you try to make a company around this.
That's like a pimp
Just
almost, right? So.
because I want people to have a freedom to do something doesn't mean I want a company to come in and exploit people. That's where exploitation comes in, is when you start to make it corporate commercial.
Yeah, so.
And I just don't think pregnancy should be something handled by a corporation.
No, not at all.
The women or the woman and whoever is involved, like, I don't know who's giving who eggs. Also, is it not always given the eggs? Because sometimes they'll use the egg from the person, right?
Yes, but
and they'll just say, "Hey, make me a baby," or give them a sperm.
But
like,
a lot of mothers want to have their DNA too. So the father and mother both can put their DNA. They can do that nowadays.
That's true, and that's kind of wild. We can do that.
Yeah. So
and then we could just take them out and put them in a third different person and be like, "There you go."
Yeah.
It's in the oven. Did you already say the last thing Blue said in chat there?
I missed it. No. So,
well,
you go for it. So
I have to look around my microphone. So. There are an immense number of variables that affect the cost of carrying someone's child. It should be between the parties what that is. Yeah, I couldn't have said that better. It's kind of what I was saying. Like, it should be between the people who want the baby and the person having the baby.
But yeah,
and then maybe legal representation as needed.
Yes, exactly. But this isn't
always have your.
This isn't Amazon Prime, right? delivered in 9 months.
No,
So
and I don't want that. That's literally why I was saying, like, I don't want companies because it'll be like Amazon Prime,
Yeah.
where you could be clicking around Amazon, it'll be like, want a baby?
yeah,
Are you sure?
yeah,
And then boom, there's one happening.
yeah.
And it was like, that was only $120. I didn't know it would be that cheap.
And
What the
soon,
hell?
you'll be able to scroll through pictures of females. Like, oh, she's
Also,
pretty.
how is this Amazon
and you're
Prime
gonna,
delivery
you're
taking,
gonna be
like,
able to
9
scroll
months?
through pictures of men. I'm like, oh, he's handsome. You can have a pretty woman, a handsome guy. But like, I picked these two,
no.
and you can order the shit. I guarantee you that's a thing.
That is, I think
And if
everyone's
not,
against that.
if not, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna become a rich. No, I'm kidding. But okay.
Like, that is fucked up. But the Pope here, just to end this off, the Pope's calling for a universal ban. He has
So
no
I
qualms
think-
about it being company or not. He says
I
surrogacy
don't know.
bad.
No, he said that he's okay with same-sex parents doing it because they can baptize their child. So I think he is.
No, this is a universal ban. He's against all of it.
He
That's
said
what
down
universal
below
means.
though. He just said down below that same-sex marriages
He said
are allowed to do it because the baby can be baptized.
Where was that at?
I read it somewhere. Yeah, right there, right up there, right? So, same-sex parents who resort to surrogacy can have their child baptized. So,
The Vatican's doctrine office. This is not the Pope. This is a different source.
different source. Okay, I didn't see the whole.
This is
source
not the
yet.
Pope's opinion. This is
Wow.
the Vatican's opinion.
Okay. The Pope will be dead soon.
Yeah.
There'll be a new one. So,
The guy in charge doesn't give a shit what the doctrine says. He says, I'm against it across the board.
all right.
The Vatican's doctrine office says they've made a carve out for same-sex parents as long as they have the child baptized. I guess that's weird. I guess you started it off with they're for gay marriage, but now they're not for surrogacy. It seems kind of wacky.
all right. Well, let's move to our final story of the night.
This one's pretty important.
From CNN, first U.S. moon landing in decades to launch with NASA science. Human remains on board.
Yeah, we're sending human remains.
Would you ever imagine being like, I know they're dead, but I wonder if they signed up for it. Like, hey, I want to go to the moon. Like, send me to the moon. So.
Well,
it's-
like instead of like
yeah, like who is it?
buried?
Yeah, no, exactly, right? Or maybe it was like who are all? I forget all the first people on the moon. Maybe one of them died, and they're gonna ship them back up there. That'd be kind of cool.
I mean, maybe.
But yeah, so
I mean, I feel like NASA should probably be working on something else besides sending your remains to the moon. Like,
yeah. So
scientifically, how does that help?
I'm sure it's just maybe it's a side mission.
So it's got to be a side.
It's a side
mission.
quest, right? So,
Side
yeah.
quest.
Yeah. So
United Launch Alliance Vulcan Centaur rocket. That's a very long name. Is that really Ulavka? It's not even a good, like, if you just take the first letter. Eula rocket.
okay,
Sure. So on Monday, that's today, it's taken a liftoff. It will carry nothing less than the first lunar lander to launch from the United States since NASA's final Apollo mission in 1972. The stakes are high.
crazy.
Yeah, we've stopped going to the moon because I thought we decided it wasn't worth it because there's nothing there.
Yeah.
So we must have found a good reason, right?
Yes.
So the success of the rocket, developed by the joint venture of Lockheed Martin and Boeing. We should
Boeing.
have covered this earlier.
Yeah, so-
Called United Launch Alliance, is crucial to that company's future and its desire to chip away at SpaceX's dominance in the commercial launch industry. Oh wait, I thought NASA didn't do commercial launch, but okay, maybe they do now. The lunar lander, built by a small Pittsburgh-based company, Astrobotic Technology, could become the first commercially developed spacecraft to make a soft landing on the moon. Cool. Why?
So
Let's skip down here. What else?
it's a crew mission. So it's the first crew mission. Well, I didn't know they were going up there. I just read it.
85% chance the weather's gonna be clear.
Looks like there was some delays though. Could
Yeah, I
be
heard
wrong,
there was a
so.
couple issues today, so we're probably gonna do a follow-up on where they're at.
Because yeah, I do not think it
Apparently,
launched.
50-50 shots. Who takes a 50-50 shot when you're talking about space travel?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I'm out. Scrub the launch.
Yeah, I don't think it launched today, but that's still pretty
So,
cool.
yeah.
So
So they take off on Monday. I want to hear more about what they're taking on board.
Where are they going to hang out? Are they just going to land and fly off again? Like,
So
I don't
after
know.
reaching the moon, Peregrine will spend some time in lunar orbit before attempting to touch down on February 23rd.
Okay.
And I thought I'd read that they were going to be there a few days, actually.
Oh yeah, that's kind of crazy. Just attempt a touchdown. Okay.
Touchdown, yeah.
So if we have a good telescope, you should be able, depends on, yeah, you should be able to see it from, with the telescope, if you have a good one.
So the final moments before the spacecraft reaches the surface will be the most crucial. 2 failed lunar landing attempts last year, one by the Japan-based company and another by Russia, foreshadowed the difficulty of maintaining precise control over a vehicle swooping in for touchdown. We covered one of those, didn't
Yeah,
we?
we think we covered both of them actually, because Russia we failed. So is it going to be?
I thought it was
cruise?
India that succeeded.
India, you're right. It was India that succeeded. You're
So
right.
it was maybe Japan and Russia both failed.
Yeah.
We covered the Russia fail. I think it was India that succeeded.
Okay.
Unmanned, maybe though.
So is it? Well, is it? Yeah. Is there a man or is it crew? Is there crew or no crew? Oh.
So right here, while both the Japan and Russia's failed in their lunar landing attempts, India's made a safe landing in August. So we were remembering right. India did do their success and became the 4th nation after China to put a vehicle on the moon.
Crazy.
But I don't know if they were manned or not.
So
were these manned? I thought none.
I don't think those are manned, but is this one?
Which is why this one being manned is like the first one since
Okay,
like 70s kind of thing. I think it's a big deal. It seems like a big deal, right?
Ah, crazy. Yeah, let's hope it all goes well for them.
So what was that about dead bodies?
Yeah, maybe they're just taking up plan. Why? That is kind of weird. So.
Like we started this about dead bodies, didn't we? The rover's going to peruse the lunar South Pole for water ice.
No, we will be having an episode of February 23rd, so we will be talking about that night.
They're going to land in the Bay of Stickiness,
yeah,
near the sinus viscotatitis.
Cool.
Sure. So it's going to carry 10 science payloads, 5 of which are NASA-sponsored experiments, including 2 instruments that will monitor the radiation environment, helping to better prepare and send crews back to the moon. Other instruments sent by the space agency will analyze the makeup of the soil, looking for water and hydroxyl molecules. Let's see, it will operate for about, this is where I read it. The vehicle will operate for about 10 days on the moon's surface until the region's plunged into lunar night, where it'll be too cold for instruments to operate.
Okay, so that's just instruments. That's not the people, right?
Yeah.
So, humans remained, right? So.
Yeah, the human remains. I think the people have to leave in 10 days, though. You can't stay there when it's that cold.
Yeah.
Okay, so NASA is the primary financial backer of the mission. The space agency is just one customer involved. Wow. So also on board the Peregrine will be science experiments and commercial cargo from other nations, such as Germany, Mexico, and the UK. And German shipping company DHL, for example, is taking small mementos into space, including photographs and novels to student work and a piece of Mount Everest.
All right.
People are just literally putting anything on here. Just
so it's like
on.
a time capsule.
Peregrine will also carry human remains on behalf of 2 commercial space burial companies.
Of 2 commercial space burial companies, huh?
Yeah, Elysium Space and Celestis. Apparently, it's what you were saying. You can pay to have space burials instead of like paying for a normal plot and a rock or doing a cremation. You could do space.
That is kind of neat. So,
a move that sparked opposition from the Navajo Nation, the largest group of Native Americans. Like, why specifically them? The group contends that allowing the remains to touch down on the lunar surface would be an affront to many indigenous cultures, which regard the moon as sacred. Celestis offered to carry ashes to the moon for prices starting at around $13,000.
What a bargain! Holy shit!
No, they're only gonna take the ashes. I want my whole body up there.
Well, how are they gonna get your body through? Like, they can't.
For $13,000, they better get my whole freaking
No, they're
body.
not. How? Like, where are they gonna keep their? They're gonna
Rusty.
keep you on ice while you're fucking up there with a rocket on the back.
You could do the thing they do to the pharaohs. You could take all my liquids out.
Bomb.
What the hell's that called?
Embalming?
Embalm. Yeah. Did
you know Jewish? You know if you're Jewish, you do not get embalmed.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Do people still embalm?
Yeah, they do, but it is a thing. But the Jewish community will not do it because they will just get put in a freezer and then buried.
Isn't the main reason they do that because like the gases build up and eventually will explode? So like
think so,
just-
but that's why I have to get
Like,
put
there's
on.
no good reason to leave them in there, basically.
But then you're not whole though. So in the Jewish, you're not whole though, right? So you have to be
Do they
buried
have
as a whole.
workarounds? Like, can you empty it and put it in a jar so the jar's sealed?
I don't
and
know
not gonna
anything.
explode,
So.
maybe.
And I know
I
just
wonder.
that's just how they do it. So. But yeah, that's
Well,
kind of neat. So
I mean, this is only gonna be cremated people though, so I guess it's not actually human remains in the way that I was hoping.
well, humans remains is, but that's still kind of neat. Like they should do that to everybody. Send everyone to space. Boom. Every year.
Well, $13,000, that's expensive.
No, not even. Just every year, other than burying people, just freaking boom, shoot them all to space.
We got loads of people that doubted us and laughed at us along the way.
Yeah, like don't
Now
know.
look at us. Space funerals.
yeah, space funerals are dead, but we're in space. So
I mean, I think what you're getting at though with the shipping everybody out there, all the dead bodies, it makes more sense than throwing them in the ground.
yeah,
What are we doing? Like, isn't that weird?
yes, I get the time, but now shoot them up there, and know what you can travel forever.
And
You
while
can-
you're at it, shoot them up there, but let's make a rocket out of like that plastic that we can't seem to get rid of. Make the
Yeah.
rocket out of that plastic, and then we don't need the rocket back. It's gone.
Yeah, so.
With the dead bodies and the plastic, it's
And then
all
that's how we get
you ship up a
invaded because we're
rocket.
gonna pollute space.
Well, I don't give a fuck. Thanos comes down. He's like, "What was the plastic shit? Like, what are you doing?" And he just kills us.
All right,
Sorry, Thanos.
so
That would solve 2 birds with 1 stone.
okay, well. Thank you everybody for hanging out with us tonight. I appreciate it. If you haven't already, please hit that follow button. Every follow helps us grow. We are growing. We now have a new goal of 200 followers. And if you want, give us a sub because the subs also help us grow,
growing.
and they get us better technology, better things to make the show better for everybody. But yeah, you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and X, formerly known as Twitter. We post more on Twitter, on YouTube, but we are trying to be active on them all. Give us a follow, subscribe on all those if you'd like. And if you want to be on the show, drop us a line. You can go to our website, borderlinebanter.com, and shoot us an email. We'll get back to you. See if you want to go be on the show. We like to have a debate. We like to talk different. We like to have a good conversation, so don't be afraid. Different opinions is all right. Dustin and I are always on different opinions, and
Yeah, we have
that's-
different opinions tonight, and on some things we don't even have an
Yeah.
opinion.
and that's what we like. We like to have that conversation, right? It's not all just one way or the other. We like to hear all sides, and we always like to end the show with, it's okay not to be okay. We take suicide awareness here pretty serious at Borderline Banter. It's very important, as you all should. Friends, family, let them know. There's a number you can call, 988. It's there to help. They don't get paid. They're there to help you. They volunteer. There's also a lot of information on that page about signs of suicide awareness of your friends, so you can keep an eye out on friends and family. Justin, have anything to say before we leave here?
Just thank you everybody for being with us tonight, everybody participating, and press buttons, leave me comments. It's been the way the kid meows.
For sure. Now I wonder who we should host, because Himoto's on, our ex-host. We didn't mention that, but
the
irony is correct. But let's see here. Gotta send you guys to somebody. That know what? I don't know who this is, but we'll send you to him. If they're actually no, sorry guys, just I don't know who to pick. Let's go. Yeah, let's go this person right here. Hey, Joy, thank you for being here. We'll see you on Wednesday, 7 p.m. See you soon.
I can't say that.